Hello and welcome to the second video edition of my boeuf bourguignon, and this is going to be the brown glazing of the onions. And if I can try to say it, let me see, Oignons, glacés et brun, which I know I just butchered it all to hell, but basically it's just brown braised onions. We're going to get right into it. Let me get past the intro. I'm making currently beef bourguignon, and basically that requires these onions. Now, why are you watching a video that doesn't actually have beef bourguignon in it? Because the onions can actually be a side dish, and it generally is in many of the side dishes. You'll probably see them throughout this video series. So I'm going to go ahead and make this into a separate video. So enjoy, and let's get cooking. Okay, what we're trying to make here is brown braised onions. What I have is between 18 to 24 of the pearl onions, and basically what I have done is that I have already peeled them and cleaned them up so they are ready to go. Definitely probably could have had another bag, but it is what it is, and that's all I have. Now, to make this, what we're going to do is I have in here, right here, I have a tablespoon and a half of butter and a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. We're going to throw that into a medium-high skillet. We're going to let that melt, and right when it starts bubbling, we're going to throw these bad boys in. Now we're going to season them with a little bit of salt and pepper that I have here for taste, and basically we're going to brown them. Now once these things are brown, we're going to take about a half a cup. Now you can use beef stock or canned beef bouillon. I'm going to use red wine, which is the same red wine, a Gouttes du Rhum, that I used within my boeuf bourguignon. What this requires is that we have a cheesecloth little baggie here, and I'll just open. I bought this cheesecloth at my local, actually basic grocery store. They all have them. They were actually out of the twine that I needed, so what I did get was I went back to the butcher's department, and the guy just gave me a handful of twine. So we're basically making a bouquet, and this will hold all of our spices. So it wants about 4 good sprigs of parsley, which you'll see me just dump in there. Actually, I'm going to go ahead, let's get this just a little bit, see if I can make this the right size. I think we're going to be fine with that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. And right now I'm running short of time because I stopped after making my beef bourguignon and relaxed, and now I'm running short on the clock. So we take that, we have right here, this little sucker here is a bay leaf, and we only want half of one. We're going to throw that in there. Then we're going to take our parsley and we're going to put that in the center of this cheesecloth. Now I'm going to go ahead and prep. I got some string over here. Let's go ahead and cut some of this. This is the string that I got from the butcher. And we're just going to basically make a, I guess, an herb tea bag, if you will. Tap that all in there. We'll twist this, and then we're going to tie it. And let me see how I want to tie this thing. I've never done this. I did not practice off camera, just like I won't do in any of my recipes. Everything will be live. So that's good and tight. I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and make a nice knot of it. One more time here. Good. I'm going to cut off any extra string that we have. I'm going to go ahead and cut off a bunch of this extra cheesecloth as well. I just don't want it to soak up our wine. So that and that. So now look, cut off the extra. Got a nice little herb tea bag. So let me reposition my camera and let's start cooking. Okay, here we are. I have a nice good sized skillet, about at least 9 inches. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to leave it on high heat for just a second. We basically want it on moderate heat because with the moderate heat, these are going to cook for about 10 minutes. We do want to get them nice and brown. Let me see if I can get you a nice little close-up here. We want these to turn brown, and we want to try to roll them in the pan with really out-breaking the skin. If you break the skin and the moisture comes out, they're really not going to brown the way we want them to. So this is starting to heat up. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our oil, and we're going to go ahead and put that in the pan. Now we've used just we've used just butter, but the problem with using just butter is that butter can't hold the heat. It'll burn. So we mix it with the olive oil, which gives the butter a much better heat viscosity, and it's not going to burn. Because if you burn the butter, you need to toss it out and start all over. And I can't toss this out. This is all the onions I have. Alright. I'm going to turn that down. Now you can tell that it's starting to bubble in the skillet, which is exactly what we want. You can hear that? Can you hear that? And then what we're going to do is just plop these little puppies in here. Just like that. And we're going to gently move these around. If you keep the heat too high, it's not what you want. Now I've got salt and pepper. And we're just going to go ahead and sprinkle that on right now. There we go. And we're going to cook these for 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and set the kitchen timer here. 10 minutes. Start. So let's see what happens. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. Here we are about 10 minutes later. About 1 minute to go, but I was a little late on the timer, so I'm going to call it good. You can see they're really nice and brown at this point. You really need to stay on them. I've been watching the heat. I've turned down the heat a bit. But you want to try to just roll them around, and you really want a uniform brownness to them. But I think we're doing pretty good at this point. So I'm going to move on with the recipe, which basically means you take the red wine or your beef stock, pour that in. We're going to drop the heat down on that. I know it's a bit loud. We're going to take our herb bouquet, toss that in there. We're going to move that around. There you go. And we cover it. Now we're going to let this cook on low heat. We're going to let it simmer for, obviously it's doing more than simmering. I might actually add just a skosh more wine in there because this is going to need to cook for approximately 40 to 50 minutes. So I don't know if I'm going to get 40 to 50 minutes cooking on that amount of fluid. We'll see how it goes, and I'll add accordingly. So, see you in about 40-50 minutes. Okay, it's been approximately 45 minutes now, and you can see our onions. This one's probably cooked a little too much as the skin's falling off of it, but they're cooked all the way through. They're nice, they're tender. Most of the fluid's gone. What I ended up doing was I put a little fluid in because it was in that really big saucepan. The pan was too large. You should have only had about a 9-inch pan, and the fluid wouldn't have been a perfect amount. So I do have a little bit of extra fluid in this, but that's no big deal. And basically, this is it. This is a great side dish. French, I'd eat one right now, but this is going into my boeuf bourguignon. So you cook this, you can set it to the side, and enjoy some nice pearl onions in a wine sauce.